The Komodo dragon, a heavy tank of the reptile world, uses brute force and a lethal septic bite to dominate the savanna.
The documentary introduces the brawler of the African plains, a young male lion representing the high-stamina, high-impact combat class. Though it lacks the speed of the lion or the cobra's venom, this specialized armor makes the porcupine a high-risk target.
True standoff-phobia.
The strategy is one of psychological and physical pressure, forcing rivals to retreat. It is the first move in this complex tactical chess match.
This display highlights the cobra's reach advantage, utilizing verticality to dominate its horizontal opponent.
The lion must decide which threat to neutralize first. A venomous black mamba snake? An armored girdled lizard?
In a four-way clash, alliances are non-existent. Every movement triggers a chain reaction across the board. The cobra employs the stinger strategy, seeking a vulnerable patch of skin on the lion's paws. It's a deadly...
The lion's mobility is its best defense against the cobra's reach.
Even a tank like the dragon has weak points. The porcupine's reverse gear offense is the perfect counter to the dragon's head-on approach.
The cobra's role here is area denial. It is defending a small radius around the fallen log, striking at anything that enters its space.
Here we witness the trade-off. The lion has speed, yet the dragon's scales provide a powerful defense buff.
An expert escape artist, the defender class retreats to live another day, leaving the brawler, the bruiser, and the stinger to resolve the conflict.
The macro shot reveals the truth. The dragon's biological armor is too strong. The stinger cannot penetrate the
The lion is taking a massive risk, as a single bite from the cobra would be fatal.
The dragon's tail is essentially a 4-foot club of muscle and bone.
As the temperature drops at night, the lion gains a stamina buff, while the reptiles begin to slow down.
This is classic intimidation. The lion searches for an opening to the dragon's vulnerable neck, all while staying clear of those lethal jaws.
The stinger class is pragmatic. If the odds are no longer in its favor, it exits the fight, leaving the brawler.
The lion cannot kill the dragon without being bitten, and the dragon cannot catch the lion to deliver that bite.
In the wild, survival is the only true victory. The different classes are perfectly adapted to their...
The brawler's metabolic recovery begins. The lion's respiratory rate stabilizes while its eyes, equipped...
While the dragon's movement has slowed, it remains a passive tank. Its reinforced skin provides constant defender's impact is psychological as much as physical. The sight of these quills forces the brawler and stinger to move with uncharacteristic caution.
The reach versus reflex dynamic is clear. The lion's height advantage is countered by the cobra's ability to strike upward with terrifying speed. The tank class is now entering its power-up phase, absorbing solar energy to kickstart its metabolism.
The defender's risk assessment is simple. It relies on its passive puncture armor to deter any predators that haven't yet fully woken up.
The lion employs the brawler's high-intelligence combat style, patiently searching for the critical hit zone.
From this height, the Stinger-class Cobra acts as the battlefield's primary scout and sniper. It can monitor the mass and momentum. Even the defender cannot stand its ground against the charging lizard. This move shatters the
close quarters counter of the defender class. The porcupine's quills are a hard counter to the dragon's soft snout.
The brawler shows remarkable tactical flexibility. waiting patiently for the bruiser to expose its soft flank. The stinger's role as a third-part interrupter. It doesn't want the lion to win the territory, so it uses harassment strikes to keep the brawler on the defensive.
The dragon's tail is its passive offensive tool, capable of breaking bones even if the dragon isn't looking at its target.
This is the high ground tier of combat. From this towering position, the Cobra uses its vertical reach to stay safe while remaining a lethal threat to anyone below.
The defender is effectively a moving obstacle on the battlefield, dictating where the brawler and bruiser can place their feet.
The roar is a psychological area denial tool that vibrates the internal organs of the reptiles, causing them to flinch.
This is the leap of faith tactic. The Cobra is using gravity to increase its strike speed, moving from a safe vertical position.
The lion's brawler reflexes are the only thing keeping it from a stinger lethal injection. This agility battle is the pinnacle of the documentary.
The defender performs a backward charge at the Komodo dragon's front legs. The dragon's tank hide is tough, but it lifts leg just in time.
Here we see the equilibrium of power in action. In the world of the four forces, your combat class is dictated by your anatomy. By lowering its body into the earth, the dragon protects its soft belly from the brawler's claws and the stinger's fangs.
In the battle for survival, the environment is the ultimate game master, forcing even the most aggressive combat classes to pause and respect the heat.
The dragon's combat class thrives on endurance, its metabolic rate shifting as the heat wanes. The bruiser waits patiently for the brawler.
This highlights the skirmisher side of the lion's combat class. Its ability to move silently despite its impressive 400-pound frame.
The multi-terrain advantage of the stinger class allows the Cobra to strike from heights unreachable by the tank dragon.
The zonal conflict, where each animal's combat class dictates its position. The tank occupies the open ground, the brawler takes the high ground.
The high-stakes poker of this encounter. The Cobra is a glass cannon that can end the lion's journey with one bite.
We call this the reaction time metric. The skirmisher's agility is its only defense against the stinger's 0.1-second strike speed.
This is the janitor role of the bruiser class. It waits for the combatants to exhaust themselves before moving in.
The Porcupine is zoning the dragon, utilizing this passive hazard to prevent the tank from joining the distant lion-cobra duel.
A psychological war between the brawler and the stinger. One relies on intimidation through roaring, the other on silence and stillness.
The dragon is using environmental manipulation, trying to knock the lion off balance so it falls into the stinger's strike zone. The stinger's lethality. This is the finishing move that defines the class.
Utilizing the grappling mechanic, the brawler executes a perfect aerial counter, using the bruiser as a meat shield against the impending Cobra strike.
The Porcupine introduces the chaos factor. It is a wild card that disrupts the frame data of the others, forcing a tactical reset of the entire fight.
The dragon's defense is passive and consistent. The specialized chainmail absorbs the damage, preventing the lion.
The stinger's patience is legendary. It can stay in this ready state for minutes. Signaling its kill pressure, reminding the lion and the cobra that one bite is all it takes to end the game.
These quills are biological landmines that will puncture the lion's paws or the dragon's bellow if they step into the defender's zone. This is the battle of metabolisms. As the night deepens, the brawler's energy bar is slowly depleting.
The stinger is reading the battlefield, looking for the moment when the brawler's reflexes slow down.
The lion is using crowd control, trying to force the defender to move so it can clear a path to the watering hole.
The environmental impact of the dragon is clear. Its very presence molds the arena, proving that the bruiser cannot be moved. Partners has ended in a strategic tie, proving that the brawler, bruiser, stinger, and defender are all equally matched in the dark.
The mammalian morning advantage. While the bruiser and stinger are still sluggish from the night's chill, the lion's internal furnace is at peak efficiency.
The bruiser's delayed entry into the morning fray. Until its core temperature rises, it must rely entirely on its passive armor to deter the lion.
Right now, the stinger is a high-risk glass cannon. It has a lethal bite, but lacks the speed to dodge a pounce until it warms up.
Having protected its resource zone through the night, the defender utilizes its passive puncture defense.
The lion is targeting the soft underside of the dragon's neck, the only place where the tank armor is thin.
The dragon's passive-active hybrid defense creates a death zone. The lion's brawler instincts recognize
The high ground tier of the fight. From its elevated position, the Cobra can strike downward with gravity-assisted velocity.
This is the deadly triangle. The black mamba has the range advantage, the lion its stamina, and
The vibration from the roar interferes with the stinger's internal ear sensors, momentarily disorienting the snake. This is the brawler using sonic warfare.
The bruiser executes a lumbering flank during the roar. This tank movement is unstoppable. It's a pressure game.
This is the final fortress tactic. Once the Porcupine is in a choke point, it is practically unkillable by any of the other three combat classes. Assassin class plays mind games. The Cobra is trying to draw a reflex swat from the lion, the brawler, to find an opening in its guard.
The lion's mammalian heart allows for burst movement that the cold-blooded rivals cannot sustain.
The dragon is clearing the field, removing any cover the skirmisher lion might use. This reestablishes the bruiser as the king of the ground.
The assassin uses the hood flick to hypnotize, while the warrior relies on fixed-point aggression. This is the ultimate mental stalemate.
bleed effect strategy. A grazing hit is all it needs to win the long game.
The Cobra assumes the role of the flanking assassin. By cutting off the lion's retreat, the battlefield has become a kill box. The combo effect of the two reptiles. The bruiser provides the CC, while the stinger waits for the finish.
While the lion is hurt, its adrenaline buff makes it even more dangerous.
The defender is an observer-class entity. It signals that the resource zone is now lethally hazardous for everyone. We now analyze the survival odds. The data suggests the bruiser is the most likely.
Bruiser begins its final advance, a slow predation gait signaling the end of the lion's claim.
Behold the symbiotic kill zone. The bruiser blocks the lion's pounce, while the stinger provides the lethal bite. Recognizing the tactical defeat, the brawler employs the pragmatic warrior philosophy. After all, a tank and assassin combo is simply unbeatable. In the battle for survival, the tank and the assassin have won the morning, but the brawler and the defender have survived the fight.
The tank class wins not by speed, but by outlasting the competition's stamina bar. This bruiser is a living relic of a bygone era.
Though wounded, the brawler shews regal resilience. This tactical retreat is merely a strategic reset.
Employing the opportunistic defender strategy, the Porcupine leverages the giant's heat stupor. This high environmental...
This is the bruiser's ultimate area denial weapon. A single septic drip creates a toxic footprint.
The stinger's continuous threat assessment, noting that the Cobra never truly stops targeting its rivals. This shot portrays the stinger as the eternal sniper.
While the solo warrior faces isolation, the lion has reinforcements. This mammalian empathy highlights the social buff of the pride.
The tank's counter to a group attack. By reducing its surface area, it makes it impossible for multiple brawlers to find a weak point simultaneously.
Here we see the defender utilizing tactical positioning, staying low behind the lava rock. It must
is the social sonic buff, a weapon that the solo bruiser and solo stinger have no counter for.
This is chemical warfare. a biological stop sign, signaling the dragon is toxic and dangerous. The infiltrators retreat. By moving to the high ground, the stinger remains a threat without being a target.
The intelligence stat of the lion is evident here. It clearly remembers the puncture damage of the defender, demonstrating tactical.
In the water, the dragon's armor is protected from a brawler's pounce, and its septic bite remains just as lethal. The battle for survival has reached its peak complexity. The assassins farewell. The Cobra signals its dominance before transitioning into its nocturnal prowl.
The Brawler class knows when the resource cost is too high. They will find water elsewhere rather than risk a septic bite or a neurotoxic sting.
The tank has won the war of attrition. By simply being there and refusing to move, the dragon has secured the watering hole for the night. The defender's journey. It survived the lion, the dragon, and the cobra by being the hardest nut to cracker.
In the wild, specialization is key. Be it impenetrable armor, lightning reflex.
Is the assassin's renewal. The cobra is quite literally sharpening its weapon for the next day's hunt.
The Komodo dragon, or bruiser, demonstrates remarkable efficiency, even in this deep nocturnal rest phase.
In the battle for survival, there is no final winner. Only those who live to fight another day.
Specialization is the key to the kingdom. Armor, venom, claws, or quills. What is your combat class?
This sequence illustrates the brawler's greatest asset, mobility. A tactical retreat is
The stinger can utilize specialized sensory pits to hunt in total darkness. The 4K detail shows
The defender utilizes a passive damage mechanic. It doesn't need to bite or scratch. It simply waits for the skirmisher jackals to make a mistake. The bruiser, an unchallenged sentinel utilizing the static tank strategy. It wins the war of attrition, protected by its biological fortress skin.
The drop in barometric pressure triggers a pre-storm aggression in the Stinger class.
The cooling rain will allow the white lion to return to the watering hole with even greater stamina.
The bruiser's cooling conflict. The rain threatens to sap the dragon's core temperature, forcing a transition from active guard to sheltered survival. Environmental synergy in action. The rain masks the sound of its quills, yet its defense remains lethal. This is the stinger's ambush buff. The sound of the rain drowns out the snake's movement, making it the ultimate nocturnal infiltrator.
The final stalemate. The brawler has the energy, but the bruiser has the low center of gravity advantage in the mud. The Cobra is now the judge of the fight, a third-party threat capable of ending the journey of
the random variable in animal fights. Even the best combat classes must account for the passive damage of a panicked defender. The high-energy gamble. The lion is using the last of its adrenaline bar to try and flip the bruiser and expose its soft belly. The King Cobra seizes the assassin's opportunity, attempting to double envenomate its rivals and clear the watering hole.
The bruiser's mastery of physics, noting that in the water, the dragon's tail is a heavy pressure weapon.
Here we see the utility of the defender. This armor isn't just for predators. It grants them the environmental resilience needed for outlasting the storm.
The intelligence of the brawler. It knows when the combat variables have turned into a death trap.
The stinger displays tactical patience. It has delivered enough warning damage to ensure no one will follow it into the stone fortress. The combat analysis is clear. The bruiser won because it was the only class that could integrate with the environment instead of fighting against it.
The battle for survival has reset the clock.
The giant porcupine is foraging, its quills glistening in the sunlight. The narrator reflects on the role of the
battle for survival is an infinite loop of competition. As the sun rises, the stinger and the bruiser recharge.
The ultimate brawler buff.
Community is the greatest shield.
Armor, agility, venom, and spikes. The 4 pillars of life.